Hey guys, I just got back from grocery shopping. I wanted to talk about a particular topic that I think gets a kind of, actually I need to do this over here, gets kind of muddy. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I feel like sometimes people kind of think it's like, ooh, we don't talk about that. But honestly, I feel like we need to. I feel like things like this need to be talked about and not just, like in the school. I know that they had like sex education and like that kind of thing, and that's fine. But I feel like it needs to be talked about. So you may have noticed that I posted something on my Facebook about sexual healing energy. And I totally believe in it. I totally think that sexual energy is healing. I feel like it's mending. And when I say mending, please, Nora. Look, I got her from the Humane Society, and apparently she likes to be on counters. I don't love that she is on my counter, but what am I going to do at this point? Stop, baby. But I feel like it can mend things too. So hear me out, go with me. So if you have a healing energy and you know how to transmute that energy, right? You can actually do that through movement. You can do it through music. You can do it through sex. You can do it through dance, all the things, right? Because when you have that energy, you have to move it. So say I have a block in my throat chakra. The block is from wanting to be seen and not heard, being gaslit, being lied to and manipulated, right? So over time, you start to lose your throat chakra. You start to lose, like, how to communicate. Because with these particular people, you have tried to communicate in several fashions, although none of them have worked. So it's almost like you have to look at the people around you. Like, notice that there are people that will do that to you. But then also notice that on this hand, there are people that will not do that don't seem to do that. Then you kind of have to wonder, like, well, where did these people, where do they get off? Where do they think that they can treat somebody else like that or in that manner? See, look at her ass. Like, I have yanked her off. I've tried to, like, scold her, I guess, like have like a little come to Jesus meeting. She don't care. But I feel like that sexual energy can be go back to it through movement, through music, through then touch and things like that. But if you don't have, this is totally my opinion. If you don't have that like connection where the sex is almost, and when I say magical, I'm not saying like, he made you come, okay, like that, I don't care. I'm saying, was there moments within that sexual, I was gonna say event, that sexual event in your life, right? So And if, like, I'm a Scorpio, so Scorpio already carries a lot of sexual energy. Well, if I transmute that, so what you would be doing is, again, my thought. If I love somebody, and I know that I can transmute energy, and I know that I can, like, manipulate it, and help it, don't get that twisted, you gotta, I'm not working out of an egotistical kind of, I'm about to do some sex magic on your ass. I'm working it out of how can I use my energy? Because clearly I would be able to feel the guy. And not that way, I'm saying like feel his energy, right? I should be able to, at this point, because I didn't, I should be able to distinguish this guy's motives, this guy's like thought process of women in general, right? Or having intercourse, or having those events, those situations where it can get passionate, or you're expressing yourself. Like, I feel like in the bedroom you need to be able to have like a safe space. That needs to be like I can just hear y'all now. Yes, I'm serious. There needs to be like this energy that I can be myself, I can be vulnerable, I can be fluid with you, and there's going to be no judgment. Now, during this time, there is an exchange of energy. That's why I talk a lot about STDs. It's sexual transmitted demons. Because if you have sex with somebody if you're male or female, whatever, the male, there is an exchange of energy through penetrating the female. So in that case, all of that fluid, all of that DNA, because DNA you can have attachments, you can have generational curses, that's your DNA, that's your lineage, that's your line, right? So for me, I'm a female, so if the guy came inside of me, then that means he has transferred his DNA to me. Now, if we continue to have sex, that's going to be just now I'm making that energy tether like a little bit more, like it's the cord is getting thicker, right? So be careful with that when you're out here in these streets. Because in my book, I believe that I think women are portals. Because look, y'all wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a woman. I'm just saying, like, seriously, who started this shit? Girls, we run the world. So I'm like, you need to, for me, I think that sex is sacred. That's such a sacred energy. I was going to say sharens. That's not a word. Like a share, like you're sharing your... There's a difference if I merge energies with you because I'm standing next to you at Target, and then there's a difference if I'm fucking you. That's a different energy that goes into that, And so when you're doing this, like, just make sure that you understand what the I keep wanting to say event, like it's a sexual event. Let's go ahead and put that down on the calendar. But if you have that kind of, I'm going to just call it an event. That's what just keeps coming in my mind. So if that's the event that comes in, that, and you're having this moment with this person, for me, there's a big difference between just, that's that's not what having sex is to me. Okay, that's not. Because again, if you have two people that are kind of into each other and you guys are feeling this chemistry and you're, sexually attracted to each other, once that event happens, it's like there should be almost a sensual, it's a fluid. And I'm not saying the fluid, I'm saying the emotion, the energy is fluent. And it's not like porn. It's, I think whenever I think of porn, it's like, I just think that, like, it's so staged, like, we're going to be here, and then we're going to do it here, and then we're going to live here. I think there's so much, I don't know, it's too fake. It's fake. It's too staged for me. So, whenever I just think it, like, needs to naturally evolve into something, even if you're married, because, like, I noticed with myself, I would always have to initiate that, and I'm like, I'm tired of initiating this. Like, if you don't want to have sex with me, that's fine, but we need to break this off, and I kind of thought that was interesting. So here's another little nugget. Look up the words sexual anorexia. And that is literally where it's like someone will, what's the words? Someone will negate, came to my head, that's not it. Someone will basically like withdraw their sexual energy from you. So now you're just like, anytime that you come to them, they're gonna shoot you down. Because it's almost like a punishment, you know? Crazy. Definitely witnessed that. You know, but that energy, that sexual energy between two people needs not to be so like one-sided, because when the two people do connect, it's like if that other person feels that energy too, that other person can also heal some of your fractures. It's, I don't know how to say it, it's almost like when Gorilla Glue hits something and it fixes it, you know, like that's kind of, I mean, go with it, whatever. But that's the energy that tether you guys. That's why, like, when you have sex even in like high school, that energy is with you, you know, and those energy cords need to be like removed, you know, and you can do that yourself, you know, because they're gonna leave fractures. Think about like the guy that you had sex with in high school. You know, think about maybe how he treated you, or maybe how you treated him. That kind of thing, it molded you for like now. You may not think so, but some of the things that you guys went through within the relationship kind of started your path here, you know? So, again, when the two energies come together, it's always going to be together unless somebody breaks it. It's not like it's bad credit and it just falls off. You know, it's actually like it's an energy, so it's always with you. So I think when it comes to like sex and stuff like that, it's be careful with who you're partnering with. Now, if you're married, be careful there too. You know, because like I feel that if it is one-sided like that, like I feel like sex is an important kind of, it's a piece to your relationship, right? It's just a piece. It's not all of it. It's not every day, okay? But I think when you realize like what it is and how sacred it is and how just healing it can be, I think the thought of sex for you will change. You know, because at one time I don't know, I'm assuming, but maybe I felt like it was just, you know, like I don't want that. Like I want to be able to feel you. I want to be able to, let me not. Okay, so, but when you get there, it's like that's that energetic kind of, it's reciprocated. You know, it's a feeling of love, and I don't know, sorry. So, just make sure that the sexual anorexia is not there, because I don't want you to feel like you shouldn't have it, or can't have it, or you're not worthy of it, or maybe you have some traumas, or, you know, all the things, like I want you to analyze that. I want you to really go within and see, like, why am I having this block of some sort with this sexual energy? Is it because somebody did this? You know, maybe something horrific happened in your life, molestation, rape. You know, that will fuck up the psyche. It will alter it. Because then you have two ways of going. Either you're going to go, it's like a pendulum. Either you're going to go this way and you're going to end up really promiscuous, or you're going to go this way. No, I told you. Or you're just going to be like, I don't want to do that. Like it kind of scares you to have sex. There's a block. Having sex is healthy. Okay, it really is. But just make sure that your choice in person, Nora, is who you want to exchange that with. And it's your choice. Don't let don't let somebody else like dictate what, you know, like you should or you shouldn't. You know, don't have somebody tell you that they will leave you if you don't have sex with them, or they will go find somebody else if you don't have sex with them. That's disrespect. It's also called ultimatums, but that's fine. You know, so start to look at sexual energy, you know, and a lot of times that's going to be a trigger. That's going to be maybe one of your triggers. Maybe even a boyfriend, like way ago, maybe said something to you that struck you really wrong, and you're still carrying that or holding on to that thought. It's just a thought. It may not even be reality, but it's just a thought, but you're holding on to it. Be careful. You know, be careful with that, because that's a seed. And then seeds grow into other like addictions or problems, or like maybe this thought process that like really hurts you is tied with another little one, but they're kind of both the same, but maybe different actors, different characters within that like situation, that event, you know. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys' attention. I hope you had a good day. It's been a really nice day today. The energy seems to be pretty good. Even whenever I woke up, I kind of felt just a little bit of a shift. I feel a little bit higher. It's expansion. So what you're doing when I say that, like you're kind of, you know, molding yourself. Think of yourself as a person in a bubble. That's your energy, right? That whole bubble, like almost like, oh gosh, what's it called? Not an umbilical cord. Whatever you're in, the baby's in a sack, something sack. Sounds like 3 words. What are we working with? I don't know what that's called. The sack that the baby's in. Think of yourself as that, right? So every time that somebody hurts you, or says something off color, or intentionally does this, or whatever, that's going to cause a fracture within, you know, I cannot think of that word, your bubble. So again, so now you're meeting somebody, here you are, and you're meeting somebody, and they're kind of fractured too, because you can just kind of see like the fractured little oozing out and that kind of thing. That's kind of funny that I made that analogy, because it's kind of going, like, that's so true. You know, and then the amniotic fluid starts to leak out. That's not good. Your whole sac is torn, and your aura is not good. Okay, that's not a good aura. And if you can read auras, you understand what I'm saying. Because sometimes it'll look like kind of jagged, or it'll look like broken. There's like pieces out of it. So think of a puzzle and then take like pieces out of it, and you're kind of going, oh, that's what my aura looks like? Yeah. But that's because of over time, things have hurt you, situations have hurt you, your parents, indoctrination, church, the way you thought. Think about some of the things that, even go back and think about some of the things that maybe you thought, but it really wasn't actually true. But you thought it, you made it up in your head. Because other people said this, so you made this up in your head. And now you're going, you know what? Take that little piece out, catch that part. Catch your little auric field, you know, and that's going to be looking at them. You have to find them. You know, we know where they are because we don't want to go there. But I think if we went there and actually looked at things and wrote things down, I feel like it would be better. We have to do that. We have to focus on us, our auric field. And then once we get back into the bubble and our auric field is healed, you know, healed somewhat, then I feel like then we start to raise, and then we're little bubbles. I love this analogy. We're like little bubbles that just go up, and then all of a sudden it pops at the top of the ocean, and then you see the sun and you're free. I love that analogy. Thank you, angels. You know, that's what you chose to do. You chose to work on yourself instead of looking at all the people around you. Let's work on ourselves. It's time. It's time to heal. Like, I don't feel like at this point in the juncture, anything 3D to me is really a turn off. It's not, it's very surface, it's not deep and weighted, it's I don't know, it's just not, I've done that. You know, so now I'm on the search looking for truth and looking for things to heal myself. Because I was in some fucking broken ass way. And I had to heal myself. I had to go inside my aura and find those traumas. Like, I didn't want to look at it, right? Like, let's not look at that. I know where it's at, but we're not looking at it. I had to look at it, pull it, let's go over it. Who are the characters? What was the event? What happened? What was said? What role did you play? Like, what role did I play? That kind of thing. Make sense of it as an adult, not as a kid, like when it happened. Because you can remember it, you just suppress it, or you block it, and you're like, no, not looking at that, you know? So once you start to look at it, then you can heal it. Okay, you know what? Maybe I made that up in my head. All right, we're going to go ahead and heal it. Putty. All over the place. E6000 and Gorilla Glue. Just hold my shit together. You know? But you have to do that to get to the top. And you're going to notice that other people that are on the same ascension, and other people that are seeking truth. You know, because you can talk to somebody, and as soon as they say a couple key phrases, you kind of know where they're at. Unless, I was going to say unless the other person is a narcissist and has mastered you so well that at this point they mirror your character. They do that because think about it, that was the whole, that they have watched you and figured out who you are, what are your triggers, because they need to know those so they can hurt you when you give them a narcissistic injury, you know? So they know what they're doing. It's all about intention, you know? But sexual energy between two people, I think, is very healing in the aura. So if I'm having sex with you, I can use my energy to heal your aura or to heal certain things in your life. Because at this point, it's two human bodies knocking boots, but our souls are doing their thing too. You know, and then you have your ancestors and your angelic beings. And it's just like a plethora of energy that happens. It's almost like time stops. Like you're just all the things, you know? And I want you guys to be very aware of that in your ascension process, because I noticed within, excuse me, my angels show up when I start burping, I'm sorry. I noticed in my past marriage that there was a lot of things that were kind of off balance, very one-sided. So I had to write that down. What is communication? Absolutely. Sex? Absolutely. Finances? Absolutely. You know, when you break down that kind of thing with each character that is in your life, in your field, you know, like, I don't know who's actually watching right now, but I'm sure we've not ever, like, been together, you know, or maybe some of my people that do watch, maybe we're friends, maybe our auric fields have been together, but if I haven't, then, like, you're not going to recognize my personal energy. Do you follow that? Like, it's a different energy that everybody has. It's their signature. Your personal energetic signature is going to tell a lot about you. And you can notice that whenever you are having sex, see where be aware of where that person's at. You know, don't have them call you by their ex-wife's name. That's not a fun time in the event. You know, like, that'll cut some shit off quick. No ma'am, get off me. You a bitch. You know, it has to be where you lose time. Time is linear. It's like your souls go up to the next ether. Little dimensions. And if there's two people that can get there, if it's not just I wanna fuck, you know? If it's something a little bit more, like, I don't know, weighted, then yeah, I get that. So, anyway, I went to Publix, got my stuff. You saw, did I show you what I got? I like fruit. So like I eat a lot of fruit and drink a lot of juice and eat a lot of Snickers. I do love Snickers. But that's what I was thinking of. I was like, holy God, like sexual energy is also another streak. So think about this. You know, Fuckface and I were married for 12 years. Well, if each thing, it's almost like, say all these little cords are coming, almost like a power line cord, right? They have all these cords, and then all of a sudden they spin it, right? So they're all tethered together. It's going to be hard to like take one out because you're going to have to like unravel it, right? So every energy, communication, loyalty, integrity, being sincere, being protective, being just all the plethora that should come with a positive note in a relationship, right? So think about all those things that are tethered together and it's connected to you. So let's say whoever you're having sex with, you guys are going to have like this tether. Now if it's like a one night stand, the tether's not going to be real big, but I can bet your ass you probably brought home some attachments, especially if he came inside of you. You know, so all of these tethered cords, some of them maybe say, you know how Christmas lights are. If one is fucking broken, it's all the brokens, you know? So think about one in that cord. If it's all tethered together and you have a couple of the pieces that may be burnt out or shortage or whatever the case may be, the flow of energy is not going to be fluid. It's not, there's going to be hiccups in it. It's almost like when you're cranking a car in the alternator, you know, it's, you know, it's just bad. It doesn't go together. So even during sex, as sacred as that is, if the tether is not feeling protected, secure, all the things, it's not going to connect. There's not going to be a crank. You're going to be sitting on the side of the road. You know what I'm saying? But I want you guys to start to look at things, everything, as energy. Everything is energy. Look up Tesla. 369. You can even like listen to Hertz music, HRZ, and Tesla has a 369, and basically it's music. It doesn't typically have like words in it, but you can hear the frequencies. The frequencies will go up, especially if you're wearing like headphones, and you can hear it because it'll jump from ear to ear. It's kind of neat, kind of trippy. But just think about that. Think about things as in energy. Every energy exchange. Like if I see you at Publix, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up, girl? That's an energy exchange. And if you notice I went like this, I shot my energy at you. You know, like, Wonder Twin Powers? Deactivate. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's anything that you do is energy. So start to kind of shift. Start to think about that in that way. Everything. And even whenever I say, like communication, say you go into your bank and you're talking to your teller. You know, like, you guys don't know what she's gone through. She may be going through some hell, but she's very kind to you and she has a smile on her face, right? She hides that well. Kudos. So if you're on the other side and you're pissed off and you're giving this teller, you know, hell for whatever fuck up you did, but you can't take responsibility for it, so you're going to give the bank teller hell, you know, like that's an energy. So if you do notice that people do kind of come at you, then I would start to do return to sender or a protection. And they won't. And you can cloak yourself too. Put like an energy around your bubble. It's almost like it taking a big ass tarp, a Vera Bradley blanket, and covering yourself. Like a little ghost. Cloaking myself, you don't see me. If you're in a bad relationship, you can cloak yourself. They'll leave you alone. So, I love you guys. I just wanted to tell you that. Again, think about it. Think about it. Everything you do is energy. Everything around you is energy. So if you can learn to manipulate that energy and create the world around you that you literally want, and don't get distracted by the things, people around you, the naysayers, the gaslighters, the manipulators, the liars, the people that have to lie in order for anybody else to like them. Love you guys.